Hello, my name's Andrew Price, and at the moment we're filming in Southeast Asia for the latest episode of the A to Z of Bushcraft. And this is my parang, and a parang is a long-bladed, thick knife. A parang is the #1 tool of tropical survival. It's a heavy-bladed knife, which means it's suitable for chopping, hacking, splitting, all sorts of tasks that you'd normally need a knife and an axe for. So unlike carrying the several tools that we might carry in northern bushcraft, by carrying the single tool, which is very suitable for the heavy, hardish woods of Southeast Asia, we should be able to cope with virtually anything. When we're using the parang, it should be held firmly like this for chopping tasks, but it can also be held a little bit further onto the blade like this for fine carving, and it can also be held by the blade for very fine tasks using the tip of the blade like this. So traditionally we would retain a very sharp edge at the tip here, which would be used as our cutting, game preparation, vegetable chopping, that sort of thing. And then we would retain this section here, which would be kept sharp, but not necessarily as sharp as the very fine tip. And this is used for chopping, hacking through brush, that sort of thing. And then we have another section here. This needs to be also very, very sharp. This is our carving section of the blade. So by holding the blade in this fashion, we can then use it for carving like this. So the handle of a parang, normally made of wood, possibly horn, things like that, but generally speaking it would have a very thick butt end to it like that. Now the reason for that is because in this sort of hot, sticky, tropical environment, your hands will get wet through sweat, and if you don't have this widened end here, it's a very good chance the parang will slip out of your hand in use, and that can cause all sorts of nasty things to happen. So as you look at the handle there, you'll see it's very wide. Now normally when you buy these, a native made parang, they're normally made up from car leaf springs, that sort of thing. Normally the handle has what we call a rat tail tang, which is just a basic little spike tang which goes into the handle right here, and they're often glued in. Now the problem with that can be, as the glue breaks down, quite often not very good quality glue, the blade can come flying out, often with quite spectacular results. So what I've done with mine is to have it drilled through here. A very good friend of mine drilled it through here and stuck a rivet in, and that allowed it to hold in place, and it's much more secure. So that reduces the chances of the blade flying off like that. Also, you want to make sure your parang comes with a good scabbard or case. And when you're drawing the parang, make sure you hold the case at the spine end of the parang, so that when you draw it out, there's no chance of the blade cutting through here and injuring your hand. So that's a very important thing to consider from a safety perspective. So the parang can be kept on your belt like this, and it can be drawn just by pulling out like this, and it's ready for use.
Where the wind blows, where the river meets the sea, I'll be waiting for the day when you come back to me. I'll be waiting.